Bett, bass fishing at its best, is proudly brought to you by Jacini Tiger Lodge, the Kariba of South Africa, and Yamaha VMAX, super high output 4-stroke outboards. The second leg of the KZN Bett series saw the anglers making their way to the picturesque waters of Albert Falls Dam, home to a fantastic array of wildlife and a mere 25 kilometers outside Pietermaritzburg. This renowned bass fishing dam has a lot to offer. The logs going into this, the second KZN event, are as follows. Pole position is anyone's for the taking. With clear blue skies and not a breath of wind, competitors gathered at the water's edge. With mixed emotions from practice weeks earlier, we asked some anglers as to what their thoughts are on today's tournament predictions.
The first tournament at Ananda, that was a tough one for us. We managed to pull it out the bag. We got our 5 fish at the end of the day, and we're 1.2 points out of the top 10. So we're not too concerned as of yet. But I think today's going to be slightly better for us. We've done a lot of practice. We think we know where the fish are. Proof is in the pudding after the start. We'll see if our first few spots tell us what's happening. But yeah, size of fish not going to be very big today. There might be 1 or 2 good fish that come out amongst the majority, but at the moment the guys are catching about 20 undersized fish for every keeper that they get on the boat.
In practice we got some fish on about 35 foot, between 35 and 24 foot. And then I've got a spot on the ridge that I'm going to be targeting. Basically very slow fishing, mojo, very small worms and drop shot. That's basically where we're going to be targeting.
We're going to be fishing shallow just to catch our limits, and then we might move off deep when we've got our limit for bigger fish.
We're going for our second one now, so we just hope the fishing is good today. We believe it is tough. When we practiced, we actually battled. So yeah, it's going to be a hard day. If you get to 5 fish, happy.
The Albert Falls lay of the lake. Albert Falls Dam is known for its large amount of submerged timber scattered around the many different areas of the dam. Together with a constantly green tint of the water, this provides ideal conditions for ambushing bass. Situated in the main lake, the ridge is a submerged hump covered with scattered trees. Known for its reputation to present a quick 5-fish limit, many anglers are sure to visit this ridge throughout the day. Tucked away in a no-wake zone, tall submerged grass and dirty flowing water of the river section typically produces bigger bass. With a rock-laden bottom, a well-placed lure hidden amongst a rock can land that hopeful kicker. Fishing the banks of Albert Falls will prove a popular choice amongst many anglers, with an array of different structure on offer, from rocky banks with semi-submerged timber to grassy, slow-sloping banks with scattered grass patches. The McChrystal Insurance rules of the tournament: 2 anglers per team, 8 hours of intense fishing, 300mm minimum length per fish, 5-fish limit, heaviest bag wins, 21,250 rands in cash up for grabs. Boats line up on the banks in order of their drawn tag number. As the weighmaster proves their live well is empty, boats are pushed off to idle their way out past the buoy line before racing off to start their day's fishing. Currently in second position, we go on board with Team El Grande Lures 2, competing solo today. Brian starts his day fishing submerged rocky ledges near the campsite.
Yeah, I did pre-fish last weekend. There's a ton of bait fish around, that's for sure. But the water's not as high as I was expecting it to be. Well, even when I pre-fished, it's just hasn't come up that much as opposed to other dams in the area. So that's, ruling out a bit of the shoreline cover, fishing up into the grass and stuff. The water's not quite there yet. So I've just pulled out into 15 or so foot of water, just fishing some rocky ledges to try and pick up fish on that first line of cover. I'm chucking a Carolina rig at the moment, just a small 1/4 ounce Carolina rig, primarily just to get down to the bottom. I want to just rub that weight on the bottom and just irritate those fish. I mean, there is so much bait fish around. I don't think it's hard for them to eat really. So I'm just trying to drag it in between a bunch of them in about 15 foot of water, and hopefully they get irritated enough to just eat it. Yes and no, so guys, Alex obviously wanting to chase us down, but at least the points are on the board, so we just got to stick to it, and I don't think there's any sense in getting worked up about it. You just got to do what you do, and if the fish bite their bite and you can put some more points on the board. So I think the pressure really starts when you get down to the last couple of events and you trying to make that top 10 to fish in that final. So everything's fine for now. Maybe the pressure will build by this afternoon, a couple of hours beforehand, but for now, spirits are generally quite high.
Fishing a sloping bank in the main dam, Gavin and Brendan of Team Yamaha Panasonic, currently in 25th position, persist with their tactic, hoping the morning bite will improve for them.
Our plan this morning is to cover a bit of water with a reaction type of deal, just to try and locate maybe a pot of fish that are eating. We did get 1 or 2 fish here in practice, so just going to see if we can get those. As the day wears on and the wind picks up, we're going to go and try and find a few fish that we found in practice. It's going to be quite tough. I think if you get onto something that's working, a normal story, then it's always good. But the general fish is going to be tough. The plastic bite is almost non-existent. I say that and you probably find someone's got one going, but we haven't found much happening with it. A lot of small fish on it, but not necessarily the sizes you want to catch to win the event.
Structure under the water. I mean, that thing is nearly as big as the crankbait.
Oh no, Gavin, that's not going to help the bag weight at all.
It's a very fun way to fish this, very rewarding way. As the bite's on, yeah, that's a lekker way to catch them. You just twitch it along like that, and if they're around, they come pack it in at quite a speed. It imitates the forage that they're feeding on, like an injured one. We spool it a bit there, and then it's taking line.
Yeah, I'm afraid we're going to catch a lot of these little lakes today before we get into hopefully some bigger fish. But you know what, this is very good for our body of water, so mustn't complain too much.
Bett is powered by Yamaha VMAX, super high output, 4-stroke outboards.